Trading looks simple, doesn't it? Open a chart, find a setup, click buy or sell. From the outside, it looks like a logical game where intelligence and strategy should be enough. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Trading is not just about charts. It's not about indicators, it's about emotions. And emotions are the invisible force that destroy more traders than bad strategies ever will. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt unstoppable after one winning trade only to feel like a complete failure after the very next one? Have you ever watched your account climb so high you felt like a genius only to see it crash and feel like you didn't belong in the market at all? That's not bad luck. That's not a broken system. That's the emotional roller coaster, and every trader is trapped on it. Think about your first big win. Remember that rush? The adrenaline pounding in your chest, the profits stacking up, the pride that whispered, "I've figured it out, I cracked the code." That feeling is intoxicating. It feels like proof that you are meant for this. But then the very next day, or maybe the very next trade, everything collapses. The loss erases not just your profits, but your confidence. Suddenly you're staring at the screen, frozen between fear and frustration, asking yourself, what went wrong? Why can't I stop doing this? That constant swing between the high of winning and the low of losing is exactly how most traders spend their careers. And unless you break free, it will cost you everything. Here's why it happens. Human beings are wired to chase pleasure and avoid pain. A winning trade feels like pleasure, so your brain rewards you with dopamine. You want that hit again, so you take more trades, impulsive trades, reckless trades. A losing trade feels like pain, so your brain screams at you to erase it. You revenge trade, you double your size, you abandon your plan. In both cases, you're not trading the market, you're trading your emotions. And the market always punishes emotional traders. That's why most people lose money, even when they know what to do. They have strategies, they understand technical analysis, they've memorized patterns. But when real money is on the line, fear takes the wheel. Greed presses the gas pedal, doubt pulls the emergency brake, impatience shoves you into trades that don't belong in your plan. And by the time you realize what's happening, the damage is already done. The worst part, the roller coaster doesn't end when you close your charts. It follows you into your life. You wake up thinking about yesterday's loss. You fall asleep dreaming about tomorrow's win. Your mood swings with your equity curve. When you're winning, you feel alive, energetic, optimistic, fun to be around. When you're losing, you're withdrawn, irritable, snapping at people who don't even know what a candlestick is. This is why so many traders don't just burn through accounts. They burn out emotionally. They pour every ounce of energy into the market, and the ups and downs drain them until they quit. The first step out of this trap is awareness. You cannot stop emotions from appearing. They will always be there. Money equals survival, and survival equals emotion. The problem is not that you feel fear, greed, or excitement. The problem is when you let those feelings make decisions for you. And that is exactly what most traders do. They believe the goal is to kill their emotions. But that's impossible. The real goal is to stop letting emotions control their behavior. Now, think carefully. Why does the roller coaster exist in the first place? Because you tie your self-worth to every outcome. Every win makes you feel like a winner. Every loss makes you feel like a loser. That attachment is poison. Professional traders don't think like that. They don't see a win as proof they're brilliant, and they don't see a loss as proof they're stupid. They see both as part of the process. A win is simply confirmation they followed their edge. A loss is nothing more than the cost of doing business. That perspective is what keeps them steady, while everyone else is tossed around by the highs and lows. Picture this. Two traders take the exact same loss. The first trader is crushed. He mutters, "Not again. Maybe I'm not cut out for this." He stares at charts for hours, overanalyzing, then jumps into another impulsive trade to redeem himself, and loses even more. The second trader shrugs. He says, "It was within risk. It was part of the plan." He shuts down his platform, goes for a walk, and returns tomorrow ready to trade again. Same event, same loss, two completely different reactions. One spirals downward, the other stays calm. The difference is not skill, it's perspective. And here's what you must understand. The market doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're on a hot streak. It doesn't care if you just blew your account. The market is indifferent. It will keep moving, creating opportunities every single day. The emotional roller coaster tricks you into believing that each trade is life or death, that one win or loss defines your future. But that's a lie. Trading is not about one trade. It's about thousands of trades, spread across years. And if you allow emotions to dictate your actions, you will never achieve consistency because your decisions will always swing between extremes. Breaking free requires acceptance. You will lose. You will have bad days, bad weeks, even bad months. But those losses do not define you. They are business expenses. When you stop taking them personally, you strip them of their power. And when you stop inflating wins into proof of greatness, you avoid the trap of overconfidence. That balance, never too high, never too low, is what keeps professionals in the game while amateurs burn out. But let me give you the hard truth. Most traders never get off this ride. Not because they can't, but because deep down they don't want to. They crave the highs, they love the rush of adrenaline. They dream about the jackpot moment when one trade changes everything. That thrill is addictive, and like all addictions, it comes with a crash. So here's the choice every trader must make. Do you want excitement or do you want consistency? Because you cannot have both. Excitement is fireworks for a night and regret for a lifetime. Consistency feels boring today, but buys you freedom forever. The traders who survive are not chasing highs. They are chasing discipline. They are steady, boring, predictable. They don't ride the roller coaster. They watch from the outside while everyone else screams through the highs and lows. Ask yourself this. Would you rather feel excited for a few hours and lose money, or feel calm and build wealth for years? Everyone says they want wealth, but their actions prove they're addicted to excitement. That's why brokers love emotional traders. They always give the money back. The truth is, consistency isn't flashy. It's not glamorous. It's boring. It's following the same rules day after day. It's risking small amounts. It's logging every trade. It's accepting losses without drama. No fireworks, no adrenaline rush. But in that boredom lies freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from stress, freedom from the chaos that destroys most accounts. That freedom is what allows traders to stay in the game long enough to actually succeed. Fear, greed, doubt, impatience, ego. These 5 emotions are the real enemies in trading. You thought your enemy was the market? Wrong. The candlesticks aren't against you. The spreads don't care who you are. The market isn't personal. The real enemy is sitting inside your own head, waiting for the moment you place a trade. Fear is the first one you meet. It whispers when you're about to enter. What if this fails? What if this is the trade that wipes you out? Fear convinces you to exit too early, cutting your profits before they grow. It paralyzes you when your plan says buy, keeping you stuck on the sidelines, while the move you predicted happens without you. Fear is invisible on the chart, but it is written all over your equity curve. Then comes greed. Greed doesn't whisper, it shouts. After a win, it screams, "Take another one, double your size, don't miss out." Greed convinces you that rules don't matter. It tells you to hold just a little longer, to push just a little harder, to chase trades that don't fit your system. Greed feels like confidence, but it's poison disguised as motivation. Next is doubt. Doubt is a slow killer. It creeps in after a few losses. It says, maybe your system doesn't work. Maybe you're not good enough. Maybe you should try something else. Doubt pushes traders to jump from strategy to strategy, always chasing a holy grail that doesn't exist. Every time you reset, you destroy the only thing that creates consistency: repetition. Impatience is the trader's addiction to action. Sitting still feels impossible. You tell yourself, I need to do something. I can't just wait here. So you take trades that don't align with your plan. You enter too early. You exit too soon. You confuse movement with progress. And the more impatient you are, the more money you donate to patient traders waiting on the sidelines. And finally, ego. Ego is the deadliest of them all. Ego refuses to admit it's wrong. Ego holds losers long after the stop should have hit. Ego adds to bad positions, doubling down to prove a point. Ego doesn't care about risk. Ego only cares about being right. And here's the truth. You can be right about the market and still lose money, or you can be wrong and lose even more by refusing to let go. Ego is what blows accounts faster than anything else. Now think about this. Have you ever experienced one of these? Fear closing trades too early, greed chasing after profits, doubt pushing you to abandon your strategy, impatience making you enter without confirmation, ego refusing to take a small loss until it became a disaster. If any of these sound familiar, you've already been on the roller coaster. But it doesn't. Stop there. These emotions don't just affect your trades, they affect your life. You carry the roller coaster with you outside the charts. A bad trade ruins your mood. A big win makes you arrogant with people who have nothing to do with trading. A losing week has you snapping at your family. A winning week makes you feel like the smartest person in every room. Your identity rises and falls with every candle. And that is why so many traders not only lose money, but lose themselves. This is why discipline matters. Discipline is not about being robotic. It's about protecting yourself from yourself. Discipline is the seat belt on the roller coaster. It doesn't remove the highs and lows, but it keeps you from flying off the ride. Without it, every emotional spike can kill your account. With it, you still feel fear and greed, but you don't let them touch the keyboard. Professional traders know this. They are not immune to emotions. They still feel fear before entering a big position. They still feel greed after a huge win. But they don't act on those feelings. They let their system decide. They trust their rules, not their impulses. And that's why they survive while others burn out. But here's the paradox. Most traders resist discipline. They hate rules because rules feel restrictive. They don't want to cut losses quickly. They don't want to miss out by waiting for confirmation. They don't want to stop trading after hitting their daily loss limit. They want freedom, the freedom to chase the high, to ignore the pain, to keep playing. But that so-called freedom is a trap. Because every time you break your rules, you're handing control back to the roller coaster. You're not free. You're chained to your emotions. The real freedom is on the other side of discipline. It looks boring. It looks repetitive. It looks like the same process every day. But inside that boring process is something priceless: emotional stability. Imagine waking up without fear of blowing your account. Imagine going to bed without replaying every bad trade in your head. Imagine trading without your mood rising and falling with every tick. That is the freedom professionals enjoy. And it doesn't come from eliminating emotions. It comes from refusing to let emotions lead. The truth is, most traders never experience that freedom. They stay addicted to the highs. They love the rush. They chase the dream of overnight riches even though deep down they know it's destroying them. They keep riding the roller coaster until it breaks them, and then they quit, telling themselves the market is rigged, when the real problem was never the market. It was them. So ask yourself this: are you willing to stay on this ride until it empties your account and your spirit? Or are you ready to do the boring, disciplined work that builds real wealth over time? The answer to that question will decide your future in trading. Because at the end of the day, the market doesn't care. If you succeed or fail, the only one who can choose to get off the roller coaster is you. The emotional roller coaster doesn't disappear on its own. If you don't take control, it will take control of you. The question is, how do you step off the ride? How do you stop trading emotions and start trading with discipline? The answer is not complicated, but it is uncomfortable. You must rewire the way you see trading, and you must build habits that protect you from yourself. Step 1 is acceptance. You will never eliminate fear or greed. They will always be there. The goal is not to kill your emotions. The goal is to stop acting on them. When fear whispers, "What if you lose?" your plan must answer, "Risk is managed." When greed shouts, "Just one more trade," your rules must say, "Session is closed." The emotions never stop talking, but discipline decides whether you listen. Step 2 is detachment. You must detach your identity from outcomes. A win does not mean you're brilliant. A loss does not mean you're worthless. Wins and losses are both neutral events. They are simply the result of probabilities playing out. If your edge has a 60% win rate, then 40% of the time you will lose. That's not failure, it's math. Detachment means you stop treating every trade as a test of your intelligence and start treating it as a business expense or business profit. Nothing more. Step 3 is structure. Without rules, emotions rule you. You need clear guardrails to protect yourself. That means setting maximum daily loss limits. That means defining exactly what setups you will trade and ignoring everything else. That means having pre-market rituals to get your mind ready and post-market reviews to learn from mistakes. Journaling is not optional. It's the mirror that shows you what emotions look like in action. If you don't write them down, you will never see the patterns that sabotage you. Step 4 is patience. Most traders fail because they want results today. They want to double their account in a week. They want to quit their job after a month. But the market does not reward impatience. It punishes it. Every time you force a trade, every time you enter too early, every time you can't sit on your hands, you pay a tax to the patient traders who waited. Patience feels boring, but it is the superpower that turns an amateur into a professional. Step 5 is humility. Ego is the biggest account killer. The moment you think you can't be wrong, you're already in danger. Professionals admit mistakes fast. They cut losses without hesitation. They don't need to be right. They need to survive. Survival is the name of the game, because survival gives you the time you need for your edge to play out. Ego wants to win every trade. Humility wants to win the long game. Which one do you think lasts? Now picture this. Imagine trading without emotional chaos. You sit down, you follow your plan, you take the trade, you accept the outcome, and you move on. No chasing, no revenge, no tying your self-worth to the chart. Just calm, steady execution. Your P&L no longer controls your mood. Your emotions no longer control your decisions. That is the freedom most traders never experience, but it's the only way to survive. Here's the irony. The boring trader wins. The one who follows the same process every day. The one who keeps risk small. The one who respects the stop loss. The one who treats trading like a business, not a casino. That trader looks boring on the outside, but free on the inside. Meanwhile, the thrill seekers ride the roller coaster until they burn out, both financially and emotionally. And this is the decision you must make. Do you want excitement or do you want freedom? Excitement is temporary. Freedom is forever. Excitement gives you fireworks for a night. Freedom gives you wealth, calm, and a life you actually control. The market doesn't care which choice you make. It doesn't care if you succeed or fail. It doesn't care if you stay or quit. It will keep moving day after day, creating opportunities for those who are ready. The only question is, Will you still be here tomorrow? Or will you let the roller coaster throw you out of the game? If you are ready to step off, here's what you need to do. Write down your rules and follow them no matter what. Manage your risk so no single trade can destroy you. Accept losses as part of the game, not as personal failures. Stop chasing wins like they are proof of genius. And above all, commit to patience and humility, even when your emotions scream otherwise. Trading is not about being smarter than the market. It's about being stronger than your own impulses. The greatest battle is not against the chart, it's against yourself. And when you win that battle, everything changes. So now, ask yourself, are you still trapped on the roller coaster, letting emotions dictate your every move? Or are you ready to step off, take control, and trade with the calm, boring consistency that builds real freedom? The choice is yours. The ride will always be there, waiting to pull you back in. But if you choose discipline, patience, and detachment, you'll no longer be a passenger, you'll be the driver. And that's the difference between those who burn out and those who build a career. Because at the end of the day, trading is not just about money. It's about freedom. Freedom from stress, freedom from fear, freedom from the emotional chaos that destroys most traders. That freedom doesn't come from chasing highs, it comes from mastering yourself. And once you taste it, you will never want to ride the roller coaster again.